Well, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are live, Michelle. We are live.
Hey.
Come on now. Come on through, Dunamis Women Community, because it's time for a Monday night Deep Speaks You Think. All right, let's get our groove on as y'all come on in here. Michelle, I feel like dance.
Come on and dance. If you're coming in here, you better come with some energy. It's Monday night. It's D Speaks. She gonna make everybody think. But before we do, come on, get your body moving.
Get it moving wherever you at. Come on through. All right, hold them down if you got to. If you at home with no bra on, just hold them.
Ooh, Lord, whole lights to be out.
Because you know, women like to be free when they in their house. Come on now, Michelle, you know you want to be free.
Trust me. I just put one on just to go live.
I know that's right. But we gonna let them come on in here. Come on through, y'all. Come
April,
on
and Sarita,
real talk. Is y'all ready for some real talk tonight? Say, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. And y'all know y'all got to represent that Dunamis Women University chapter now, because we don't want our chapter leaders talking about where the people in the house. Come on and represent. All right, Michelle, are you seeing them? Are you watching them?
I'm watching them. Meredith is here. Brenda. Come on, Brenda Spearman. Geraldine, Connie, Tanisha. Come on, April. Lynn said Exousia chapters in the house. Come on now. Marie.
I know. I see him. Y'all better come on through, because tonight is going to be live. Let me tell you something, Michelle. Let me tell y'all something in this community. I know Woman to Woman came on with their after party of the sexual healing challenge. But let me tell you something. Ain't no party like a D Speaks You Think party. This is after party number 2. Come on now. Come on. Don't y'all have me get up there and do a little twerking for you.
Yes. It is absolutely beautiful how all of the women came together on Friday for the after party. And you know what? It was amazing to see just the different variances within our community. Married, single, millennial, Gen X, baby boomer. You know what I'm saying? That was amazing. Mothers, women who didn't have children. That just shows you the diversity and the beauty in our community.
Yes. Beauty in the community. Y'all put that up there. Hey, Dr. Ethel. Hey, Janine. Come on through, you all. Patricia Palmer. Come on through. But I want y'all to put up there. There's beauty in the community.
Beauty in the community.
In the community. DWU community.
Inside out beauty. Yes, not just physical beauty, y'all. We're beautiful on the inside. And I'm gonna go and give you your roses while you here.
Come on through,
Pastor D, Mama D, Apostle D, Devetta Collins. The community is only as good as its leader and leaders. Come on now. We're gonna give just what just due between you, Ariel, Allison, and what you all do and how you teach and just your stance for women, just your stance for kingdom, your stance for dunamis, your stance for sisterhood. This community would not be what it is without you all's leadership. So we gonna snap it up for you all.
Well, you know what, Michelle? I don't know. I think I was telling somebody, in lieu of what you're saying, in order to be free, you got to go through some suffering. You got to go through some sacrifices. You got to go through some stuff. Okay, I'm gonna keep it mild for right now. I ain't gonna get into it. But
you gotta go ahead. You got to go through it.
You got to go through some it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you got to keep fighting. You got to keep fighting. And when you are a woman, and I'm saying this, you all, in honor of International Women's Day.
Yes.
Okay? When you have been fighting, you are fighting for other women to be set free.
Yes, you are.
Now, you know that from a historical standpoint. I don't know where we would be, not only about, we ain't talking about just our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We know what he did. But look at the women that went through and paved the way just to fight for some of the rights that we live in by today.
Yes. And the fight is not over.
Oh, we've only really just begun.
We've only just begun. As long as there's breath in the body of a woman, there's going to always be a fight. Because when God made us, he truly did make a beautiful thing. I'm just being honest with you. He made a powerful creature when he made us. And how he made us is just as miraculous. So yes, we are standing on the shoulders of the foremothers who came before us. And it's not just those in America. This is International Women's Day.
Because I don't care if you Caucasian, African, Philippine, Russian, whatever you are, what country, ethnicity, race, all of us have been fighting.
Yes.
And we have been subdued strictly because of our sex. Now, I said that intentionally for those of you all who just came from the sexual healing challenge with me because of our sex. Oh, she's a woman.
Yes.
Man, get this over here. But woman got to fight. You know what I'm saying? We're honoring not only ourselves, but women who have paved the way before us. And now we're here as D Speaks You Think, Dunamis Woman, all of what we do to pave the way for others to continue on.
Yes, yes.
Your fight ain't for you. So I thank you for the compliment. I thank you for the recognition. But at the end of the day, I'm not only am I fighting for these women, but I'm still fighting for my daughters.
Yes.
So they here with me, but they ain't got to certain places yet. You know what I'm saying? But they have arrived to a certain place within themselves.
Yes, yes.
And because that's what mothers do, that's what leaders do, that's what wives do, that's what pastors do. Whatever function you are in as a leader, you're fighting for somebody else. And if that's you, just say, I'm going to keep fighting.
Yes. Come on, Shanwanda.
Yes. There as quick as your hands can type it, because this, even in Psalms, it said, I put my hands to war and my
fingers. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna teach about that one day, but that ain't a D Speaks You Take. That's
kingdom teaching.
You know what I'm saying? I gotta know how to put where I'm gonna put what. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But we're gonna keep fighting, and we don't never give up. And this is why we gotta think. We have to think. We have been so emotionally hit, so emotionally traumatized, so emotionally damaged, that we got to know how to think out of our mind and not out of our emotions.
Yes. Think out of our minds, not out of our emotions, but also there's a heart matter.
Oh, yeah.
That's so key.
Yeah.
That's what makes us who we are. It's our hearts.
It's our hearts.
That's our distinction between any other being on this earth, men, whatever. It's our hearts.
And really, Michelle, the heart consists of our emotional state, because the heart is not just a heart that pumps blood from a physical anatomy, but even as I stated in the Purified Vagina on Purpose workshop, for those of you who got it, I'm not here to promote it because you can't get it now, so just keep on moving. But for those of you all who have seen it, at the end, when I put up there the core, I put up there that we are the earth, because it's the core of who we are that the enemy wants us to stop reproducing.
Yes.
And stop. Yes. And when I say stop reproducing, anybody can just have a child. So I ain't talking about that, but I'm talking about reproducing yourself within someone else.
Speak.
Reproducing yourself within someone else. Because that's how you give spiritual birth.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be your child.
No.
You don't have to have children in order to leave a legacy. No. You don't have to have children in order to just what you said, reproduce yourself into someone else. So I don't want women, because a lot of women kind of get black and white. Are you talking about married women? Are you talking about? No, we're talking about all women.
Well, let me give an example. I am reproducing you within myself.
Yes.
Because that's what every woman that I talk to, I'm reproducing. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what, even on International Women's Day, they fought for the reproductive rights. You know what I'm saying? Our sexual health and our sexual emotions and our thing, but it's still tied to our emotions, the very core of our being. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So just let me reproduce a child. We know we can do that. And many of us don't even plan that. We just have the sex and we get it. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm thinking about purpose, when I'm thinking about life intentionally and who I'm connected with, there's something in me that'll cause me to reproduce something in you.
Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then it's an impartation. So every time we get on the screen, sisters, there's an impartation. There's a reproduction going on. Every time that you open up your mouth, that healing challenge was a very good example of reproduction. Anything that you do, workshop, tour, a book, it's a reproduction. You're reproducing yourself in someone else. And that's why, sisters, is so key that we know who we are.
It is.
Because you are reproducing yourself very well because you know who you are. How many leaders or how many mothers or how many women are reproducing themselves and it's toxic?
And I want to bring a little enlightenment with a more fervency to what you just said, because I just don't know who I am. I know who the hell I am.
Come on with it.
And that's the difference between just not fighting in life, but warring for what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? And so when you know who the hell you are, that's when the enemy want to come up against you even more. That's when he's coming after your seed. Or your children. That's when he's coming after your vision. That's when he's coming after your legacy. That's when he's coming after your plans. That's when he's coming. When you got to really stand up in who the hell you are.
I need y'all to put that in there. Who the hell?
Who the hell am I?
Who the hell am I?
I know we talking about know who you are.
Right.
Woman to woman, but I know who the hell I am. And that stands for I'm always going to pursue healing. I'm always going to be empowered. I'm always going to know who I am to be loved. And I'm going to live this life to the wheels fall off. Hell.
Who the hell? And when you know who you are, no, I'm sorry. When you know who the hell you are, you ain't gonna settle for just anything.
I can't do it. I can't do it. But I also come to set the captives free. You see what I'm saying? I come to ignite that. I come to reproduce that. I come to get someone else to see that for themselves. I can't do it for you, but I'm gonna stir some stuff up in you. It goes back to those who want to be religious, iron sharpening the iron. You know what I'm saying? Say it however you want to say it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to live it. I'm going to activate it. And either you're going to get with it or you're going to get out. It's okay. I'm good.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like driving a car. Either you're going to move in another lane or you're going to speed up and come on through. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, so
I love it. I love it.
We all gonna get to that place. It's reproductive.
Yes, it is.
Production time. Let's reproduce. If y'all ready to reproduce, just put up there reproduce. Because that's what it is about International Women's Day. So we're gonna keep honoring it. We're gonna keep living it. It's not just this one day. This is to honor. But do you know some women had to fight to get this day honored?
100 years of fighting. It did just happen when they said we should have women. It was Women's Day, Women's Month, Women's Year, then it was International Women. It was a process. Just what we're doing. It was a process to get to where we are today. And like we said, it ain't over.
It ain't over.
You are the next hero, shero, leader in this world. I want you to look at yourself in your little phone that you're looking at on Facebook. See yourself. And this is for real, for real. You are the next International Women's Day shero that somebody's going to write about. There's something on the inside of you. And this ain't no just game. I ain't trying to fluff you. I don't need to flatter you. You got to see yourself.
You got to
God put you here. Oh, you going to know who the hell you are.
Let's go right. Let's do something real quick. I'm gonna do something right now. I'm gonna take me a selfie. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I'd take a selfie. Take a selfie?
Take a selfie, y'all.
Take a selfie, everybody. Now y'all come back. You know, half of us ain't tech savvy. You're up here having us taking selfies, and we can't even get back to Facebook. Take a selfie.
Wait till you come off, but I just have my phone in my hand. But you take that selfie, and I double dare you when you get off of here to post it and say, I see myself.
I see myself.
I see myself.
You got to.
Because the enemy see more about you than you can see about yourself. And that's why he comes. But it's time to see yourself. No longer will he know more about you. No longer will he see more about you. No longer will he have you. You're going to see yourself.
That's it. That's it.
So I'm going to be the first one to post mine. I see myself.
Baby, you took that picture. I couldn't get off the screen. I couldn't get off the I couldn't get out the group. I said, take a picture. My whole little iPhone would have shut down. Sisters,
I'm getting ready to post it right now.
If you know how to get back to your Facebook, take a selfie. See yourself. See yourself. I just want to. I'm so glad that we're here because I have been thoroughly awakened from this sexual healing challenge. Okay, thoroughly.
Okay.
I never people, oh, Michelle, you've been here. No, never will I get familiar with God's word. Never will I get familiar with your teaching. It's all new to me because I love to grow and learn. I'm not prideful. I don't have this air about myself.
Yeah.
But this sexual healing challenge and sisters who was at the challenge, if this sexual healing challenge opened you up to some new awakening, I need you to put something in there. Like I was awakened. I was something. Yeah. Whatever it was, whatever your word is, mine was awakened. And I had a couple of aha moments.
Did you now?
I did. I
feel like we're about to talk about your aha moments. Why do I feel set up? Why do I feel set up?
You do. On International Women's Day. Because I get emotional because I know what I study history. And I studied women's suffrage. And I studied this day. And I studied how it only took a few women, only 100 women over 100 years ago. And look at us today. So I know the enemy, like you said, wants us desperately because he knows more about us than we know about ourselves because he knows our history. He is the ancient. I just know 49 years maybe. Right, and I don't remember 5 years old.
Right.
I could barely remember 42. But I had some aha moments that really struck me deep. And it made me want to do differently. Just from what you said, to reproduce. I have a daughter that we're going through a rough patch right now. Very rough. And one of the reasons why is because I didn't know who I was, let alone who the hell I was as a woman.
Yeah.
Because I gave into motherhood.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about sex and division, when you start talking about coitus, I almost dropped the phone. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it was new. All of this time, I thought I was doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
You. Can you imagine? But Michelle, before you go on, and I want all of y'all to imagine. First of all, let me tell you how it awakened me to do this. Is because first of all, I was just tired and of just giving myself away and not getting what I require. Like I put a post on there. You lay down with one thing and you get up with a wet ass. That's all you get. And don't let him just do his business as like Mr. on Woods. You know what I'm saying? Or color purple. Don't let him just do his business and then you left out there and then he roll over and go to sleep.
Right.
And that's really, really demoralizing because that's a wet ass and some dry emotions.
Yeah. And passivity.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, don't send me to hell for this. Forgive me. Don't forgive me for the sex. Forgive me for who I chose with the sex. Right. That's what you forgive me for. But anyway, because some people forgive it for the fornication. I ask for forgiveness for the fool I fornicated with first.
Right. Hello. That's real.
Forgive the fornication. Forgive me for choosing this fool. Period.
That's where a lot of unforgiveness
I went to the store with him. Forgive me. Just forgive me, Lord. Forgive
Right.
me. Forgive me for even talking to him. Was less having sex with him. But you get tired of that, and then you steadily going through these motions and rituals and traditions, you know what I'm saying, of what man inflicted upon you, thinking that they were right, thinking that you were doing right, or what was in the best interest of yourself, and it becomes totally just wear down. So I had to sit back and I said, okay, I had to be honest with myself. And through my wilderness period, when I left everything, I left the marriage, I left the church, I left Negroes, Negroettes, I just left them all. I left everything. Okay. And I had to go out in the wilderness and I had to find me. And I had to find me, and I had to find me, and finding me wasn't in the church. I had to get out there. And that's when the Holy Spirit was speaking to me even more, just because on that path of discovering who the hell I am. And so I had to embrace my, not just sex, but the fact of my nature. It's not even about sex. It's my nature. That's why I wrote the book, Sexual Healing for the Woman in You. My sexual love, my sexual awakening, my sexual opportunities. You know what I'm saying? I had to break free from a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? And I can't tell y'all how I broke free because that's not appropriate for the community.
Right. You know Facebook gonna put you in jail. Say that.
That's for a private.
Right. Say that for something else.
Right. But at the end of the day, Michelle, I had to really come to grips with me. And I was tired of not the sex more so, but who I was choosing, because I did not know who I was. Yeah. I didn't know who I was. So I just wanted to give that backdrop, because this ain't something that I just got out of my thoughts and my brain and said, let me do this. And I had to really sit down and do some dissecting, do some researching. And I know that takes quality time. And a lot of people don't have that type of time because they got responsibilities, they got work, they busy with stuff. But I had to steal away from everything to do some deep research. And how did this stuff derive? Can't nobody ever tell me what not to do, and they can't tell me how the shit started. Right. Now, I had to say that the way it came out. Can't nobody ever tell me no. Sit down and tell me how it derived, and I will sit down and have a conversation with you. But don't you dare try to tell me what not to do, and you ain't sat down and dissected, and you ain't tell me, because nothing just happened. Everything has a root. Yes, it does. Everything a primitive root, a deep root. Everything has a root. Who came up with this? Who started this? Who told them? And we're just adopting. Yes. I had to go back to the root. I had to do some searching. And the root does start with us. We so busy Googling, we so busy YouTubing, we so busy going outside of who we really are. And for me, it was the who I was with, but it was also, what is it that makes me weak? That makes me weak and just don't care to give myself up. I'm going to be real honest with you. I was in a situation like I wanted to be loved and held and adored so badly. Even after this, the sexual healing, I had to really catch myself seriously, because I was willing to just not necessarily settle, but do something that wouldn't have made me happy. Do something that wouldn't have pleased me. Do something that was contrary to what I was just taught. You know, when you learn something, then you gonna get tested on it. And so I really had to, and I'm still digging deep. That's why I'm on here today. You don't know that, but you about to have a coaching session. But because it's like, what is that root in me? I'm strong, I'm intelligent, I love God, I got all of this, but there's something inside of me that that just can't stop settling for certain things when I know it don't mean me no damn good. Well, but that's fear, and that's not fear of no one else. That's fear. Let me see your shirt. I know what your shirt says, so I want you to show it. Show it to the people. Unleash. Who shoot? I don't want all them titties up in there. Unleash the woman within. I was trying to hold that in. I need y'all to put that up there. Unleash the woman within. And what you are afraid of is her. Not you. We have been trained to be a woman. And I'm gonna give it to y'all because this is what I give when I have my life master class, or when I have this, like what I gave in the sexual healing tour last year. And this is a sequence of last year, because last year was talking about betrayal, taking our power back. Now we're going deeper in sex and perversion, but it's still unleashing the woman within. So I didn't say a woman, because a woman is just a general population. I'm not a woman. You can't clump me up no more in no women's ministry talking about, oh, we're just women. Hell to the no. I am the woman. I'm the woman who got to know specifically who I am, and there's no other day that up.
Mm-hmm.
If everybody has a different fingerprint, and it's a billion people in this world, and that's by God's design, why am I comparing and trying to be like every other woman?
Yeah.
You lump us together. That's the rights we dealing with. So you are afraid of the woman that you don't know, the woman that needs to be introduced, the woman that you got to learn, the woman that you got to embrace. And that comes to peeling off and breaking through those barriers in your mind, the way environment, the way you was trained, past relationships, who told you, all this other stuff. And all of it is from society.
Yeah. And society is the one who told us about sex.
Most definitely.
You shut all of that down on day one.
Because I had to come out the gate with it, because our minds, because if you think about it, the first thing a kid is thinking about is sex. They ain't telling their mama, but they thinking about it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like it's in the air. It's in the air, and the world promotes it, cartoons, all kind of stuff, because the younger you get, the more that it's really being fed. Does that make sense?
It does.
Even Freud, Sigmund Freud talked about the baby touching itself. You know what I'm saying? On the genitals, and that was a part of his psychological development, and that has a level of truth to that. Mm-hmm. But who taught him that? Right. Because a baby come out touching their wee-wees, particularly a child. Mm-hmm. Because why? It's embedded within the spiritual realm of how it comes through the lineage. Does that make sense?
Yes. And knowing who you are is really knowing where you came from.
You are is where you came from. And that's the woman that needs to be unleashed. Mm-hmm. So we're not here. Those of you all who have registered for that, I commend these ladies, and I'm not here to tell you to do it. If you do it, you do it on your own. Like I said before, I'm not here to beg a woman to do nothing that she already have a right to do, because you got to want it. Mm-hmm. But that woman in you has to be unleashed, and you can't unleash it unless you come deeper into your own soul and conquer that fear. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Conquer that fear.
It does.
And it's not a fear of it's a fear. Will people embrace me now? Will they give me what I want? Will they love me? You're really thinking subconsciously of the fight that you got to fight just to be you.
Just to be me.
To that fight. You got to fight to be you. Because why? Everybody want to knock you down into making you be what they want to be, because their mind is ingrained in any kind of way, however it is. Mm-hmm. It's a fight to be me. It's a fight to stand in my authenticity. It's a fight to walk in my autonomy. And I don't have to fight physically. It's the woman is unleashed, but the woman ain't got to give herself to everybody either. Right. Man, woman, child, boy, girl, whomever. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And you know what? It's a fear of acceptance. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's a fear of being alone as well. It's just a lot of fears, and God didn't give us that spirit.
No, He didn't. No.
So that's a learned behavior. It's not part of His DNA. It's something I learned from the environment. But like you said, it came down from generations upon generations because of how we were treated. How the women that came before us. The reason we on International Women's Day is because they was mistreated.
Yeah.
Not only did they not know who they were, but I'm going to tell you something. There's something on the inside of each of us as a woman And it's just called the DNA of queendom. I don't know. But we know there's something on the inside of us that's great and powerful. We call it dunamis.
Mhm.
And so even though we've been through a lot and we go through a lot, there's something about us that will not make us give up. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
that's that power, dunamis, that they could not destroy. Because even in the word of God, it says our elders died in faith. They died believing. So you can kill me, but you can't kill my faith. This is why, and I don't want, oh Lord Jesus, this is why when I even wrote in the book How to Pray with Power on Purpose, and I talk about the bowl of the prayers that the bowl go in, and it's like an incense, it's like a fragrance that's always up in his nostrils. And I just like to see it as those are my ancestors' prayers, those are my mother's prayers. That as she prayed, this is why I believe in us getting our hands up and praying and knowing how to speak and knowing what to say and knowing how to groan and moan in the spirit. Because why? It may not happen now, but it's in the bowl.
Yeah.
Everybody say it's in the bowl. It's in the bowl.
It's in the bowl. Put that in there, sisters. It's in the bowl.
Queen stuff ain't no shishi foo-foo stuff. This queen stuff ain't because you got a Maserati and you got a nice house and you got this and you all this. This ain't queen because you got a wide ass and you know how to twerk it and everything. That ain't a queen.
Yeah, a queen ain't
knows
about
how to bear down.
Mm-hmm.
And allow her tears and her cry to be in a bowl that as future generations continue to grow, when I'm left off this earth and breath is out of my body, my prayers is still as an incense in God's nostril. That's why we got to be on the mark and break up this spirit, because at the end of the day, it's hindering our travail. It's hindering our wailing. It's hindering us knowing how to not just fight, but war.
Yes, yes. And what I love is that this queen is all about coitus. And the reason I'm saying that, I'm listening to you because you said something during the challenge and you said, what is your vagina saying? Now, when you have sex, your vagina ain't talking. It's squealing, it's screeching, and it's squirting. It ain't saying nothing. It's making sounds. But when you have
and it's probably saying, depending on who you with, what the hell am I doing here?
Right. No, it's saying, get your ass up.
And hurry up.
Hurry up.
I got better things to do.
Right. This is us about to come on. Hurry up. I'm missing
Queen Sugar.
But queen, coitus, I mean, it all goes hand in hand. I'm just listening to you, travail and prayer, because this is huge. When you said, this is my biggest aha moment, one of the biggest. When you said, what is your vagina saying on the inside that a great man has to hear from your heart? Now that's what threw me off, because I don't like tapping into my heart.
You don't like tapping to your heart?
Hell no. My heart is like this. It's right in between here. Penetrate it if you want to. But that was huge for me, because I'm getting back to the place of queendom, which is dunamis. But the one thing, whether it be that I would gravitate towards sex, now that I'm listening to you talk about that fear, is because it's my heart. I don't want it exposed. It has been exposed. It has been hurt. It has been damaged. You know what I'm saying? Because my heart is my real me.
It is your heart is not just closed off because you intentionally closed it off. It was closed off it was closed off when you didn't even know who your father was. It was closed off when you were he wasn't even there to bring you up to a place that your heart can be heard. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It was closed off when you came through the womb of a vagina that she didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
See, it's not about the act of sex. It's about the place that sacred place that we find our true selves.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It does.
And so when I had to find who I am, because I had to go back to my maternal lineage and I had to look at some things that the women had gone through, including my mother. And it's not what she said, it's what she didn't say.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what she's told me, it's what she didn't tell me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it ain't about, so a lot of times we repeat what somebody didn't tell us by not discovering some stuff or by doing what they say and they thought that that was gospel. But you got to come and say, who the hell am I? You know, I still have my identity. I have my own uniqueness, but I can't dismiss where I came from and who I came through. And I came from the Father and I came through the Mother.
That's it. That's it. You asked a critical thinking question during the challenge. And sisters, I don't know if this is resonate with you, just say truth. Put truth up there. They
got their comments up here, but y'all say truth. Say truth.
I'm trying to keep up with the comments and look at you. My head hurt. I can't do all of that. I'm gonna see who asked some questions, but my head hurt, y'all. You know, but you asked a question, a critical thinking question, blew my mind. You said, how did you get here on earth?
Oh, for real? Did you answer the question?
No, that's why I'm here. That's what you thought. No. And you know, we'll answer the question, how did you get here on earth? Well, God plucked me from the sky, from the spirit realm, and he put me in my mama's womb. No, I was a seed in my daddy loin, and I don't know how I got here. You know, we have these stories.
But you know what, Michelle, and you know my grandbaby, my granddaughter was born today.
Yes.
Again. Christina came on through. And people ask me, how do I feel? I'm grieved, but I'm also prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know we get excited because she is a beautiful baby. But you know what grieves me? Is that I firmly believe not only does my daughter as a mother, but the father don't even know, they don't have no idea what to do. They know how to buy baby magic and the clothes and the cuddling and all that. But to know who they are is to know who she is.
Mm. One more time for the people in the back.
To know who they are is to know who she is. Now, the only saving grace is because Allison has a mother who know who the hell she is. So I'm prepared. But he don't even know who he is. Because they trained minds. And I ain't gonna get into that because that's what I'm gonna go into at the tour of how and when I get to the seminar of how the minds of us as a people, particularly our men, were trained. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And so they got a nice little beautiful baby, but they don't even know who the hell they are. And that's a grievous thing because when we were born, they didn't know who the hell they were.
Mm-mm.
And so this young lady, as she grow up, because the baby magic and the Johnsons and the powder and the booties, and for everybody who gave a gift, I appreciate you, I love you, I thank you. But when she constantly grow and she faced that world out there that's full of perversion, are they prepared?
Yeah.
Spiritually. It ain't in a church. It ain't in a pulpit. You see what I'm saying? Because most believers don't know how to fight principalities. But I thank God because she got a grandmama who is fighting and she got a grandmama who's prepared. But at the end of the day, sometimes it's best to be a solo parent because when the father don't know who he is, it makes it worse for you.
That's what I'm dealing with now.
Because you're not only fighting the principalities, but you're fighting the person who you had sex with because he don't know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to know how to war in the spirit. And I do. You see what I'm saying? But I had to go through some stuff to get here. So she got the right grandmama. I'm just saying. But it's still that grievousness caused my travail. That grievousness that I feel caused me to be able to war because it's more than just a diaper. It's more than just getting up and going to church. It's more than just having this. It's just more than saying, oh, she cute. She cute as I don't know what. But I'm looking beyond all that.
Come on now.
I'm looking beyond all that. I'm already at 18 already. I'm already when she's 21. I'm annihilating it right now before she get to that age. That's who the hell I am. Does that make sense? That's who we are.
That's who we are. Yes.
We're too reactive. We got to get proactive because perversion perpetuates. I need y'all to put that up there. Perversion perpetuates.
Yes, it does.
And there's so many pedophiles in the spirit. And our children are impacted. You know why? Because I was impacted. You was impacted. Everybody is watching this live right now, or the replay was impacted. Now it's just a matter of what you want to do. It's all on you. It's all on you. What you want to do? Because this world is a dog-eat-dog world out here, and Satan is ancient, as we said before.
Like I said,
at the end of the day, I'm a dunamis woman.
Yes, his ancientness does not compare to your dunamis.
Oh, no.
Bottom line.
But you gotta knowing how to walk in my, because it's my identity. I have to discover who I really am and be free. Unleash the woman within. That's why our theme for the tour is with the VIP is unleash the woman within. Yes, it's taking your power back from sex and perversion, but I can't do that unless I'm unleashed.
Right.
And just like you got in that shirt, they can't see it, but it's a lioness. I know my roar. As a lioness, I know my roar. And it don't matter what Allison know how to do. She gonna learn it. Trust me, because she up under my auspices spiritually. And that's what the enemy wants, is to sniff her mind. But the devil is a liar. Because I'm the chosen one. I'm the mother. I'm the one that's assigned. I'm the woman. I ain't a woman. I'm the woman. I know my assignment. Unleash the woman on purpose. And that's what it is. I'm on purpose, Michelle. And I want everyone in here to be on purpose. But we have been victimized, Michelle. And I got some things for you that I want to talk about, because we got a few more minutes. And I don't want to ignore this, because we as women, we all have been victimized. We've been put in some categories, even as Black women: house slaves, field slaves, wench as a slave. I want you to elaborate on it, because I ain't a historian now. I ain't ignorant, but I ain't a historian. So let's talk about the woman who was the house slave.
When you think about who you are, as you talked about, you think about where you come from. And it's not just naturally. A lot of things from the natural, it comes through our lineage spiritually, and we're fighting. So you have the house slave, and I'm talking about sexuality. I want to just keep it on sexuality, since we're talking about sexual healing and perversion. But you got the house slave who lived in the house. Pretty much predominantly was in the house with the master and his wife. And she was repeatedly, oftentimes, raped and misused by the master. She was his. You know what I'm saying? Just his. And in that, I'm like, what was her vagina saying? She was hurting. But there was also some entitlement. She had a silent cry. Her roar was taken repeatedly. And she couldn't do anything because she was the master's. Everybody belonged to him, but she really belonged to him. But there was some entitlement that came out of that hurt. And you can still see it today when we have women who only go for a certain type of man, or women who are repeatedly kept woman, still in our lineage today. And all of it produces a Jezebelic woman. Yeah. It produces a woman who doesn't know who she is, because in her entitlement, she wears a mask. Yeah. Yeah. We may call her bourgeois at times. We may call her uppity. She may be found in corporate America. But what did her vagina say? And if you really look down the lineage, generation to generation, her vagina is saying the same thing as that woman who's dealing with the same thing today. Does that make sense?
It is. And I want to, because a lot of times we don't know how to correlate history with present. We don't know how to correlate what happened in the biblical days, which is not characters, those are true instances, and see how it's still shaped today. Because slavery ain't dead.
No, it's
It's
not.
just masked and presented differently, but it's the same spiritual damaging effects.
Mm-hmm.
So even as you're speaking from a spiritual perspective, the house slave, her vagina was voided.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you void a check?
Write it away.
You done wrote the check, but you don't need to use it no more. So it's voided.
Mm-hmm.
So when the vagina has been it's been activated in a wholesome way, being the queen that she was, in the queendom of where she came from, which is the land of Dunamis, where it was riches.
Mm-hmm.
Then she get with the slave master. Her vagina was voided because he started looking at her as a piece of pussy.
That's it. That's it. That's all.
So now her mind just is thinking like a woman who only got a pussy.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't have no roar no more. She got a meow.
If that. If that. Meow. If that. If that. And equally damaged was a woman on that same plantation, the wench, who her body was only used to produce children. You're talking about reproduction. Only used to produce. She couldn't have a husband. She couldn't be in a relationship. Her body was like a machine.
Yeah.
It was only used to produce children. She could have 10, 12 babies, never hold them. They were given off at the auction blocks. So all she did was give birth, get pregnant again, give birth, get pregnant again. I think after so many kids, she was able to buy her freedom. But she was a machine.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many women do we see today? We call them thoughts.
Yeah. The holes
Machine.
out there.
The holes.
Yeah.
Broken.
And also too, it's not just a thought that's out there. This is how the religious system trains our mind that you ain't nothing but a reproduction.
Come on now. Mm-hmm.
Even for your husband. And so we don't even know how to know what pleasure we like. We don't even know how to know what we like, what we are, and to even have coitus, because I am inviting you into me. I'm not inviting you into my vagina. I'm inviting you into me. Now you got to get into me through the vagina, but I'm inviting you into me.
Mm-hmm.
And I let into me who I know needs to be into me, when he needs to be into me, how he needs to be into me. But I first got to be into me myself.
Right.
I got to know me to be me. I need y'all to really put that up there and marinate on that, because that's when I heard in the spirit a rat pissing on cotton. You need to know you to be you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go into my place of relationships. Then I know how to have relationships. Now I know to know who, because the religious traditional sector just say, because you want to have sex, be that person and just reproduce.
How many women, I'm not saying this negatively, but you think about, especially in the South, but you think about Big Mama and them had 10, 12 kids, didn't know herself. But nothing wrong with a big family. But that's all she did was had children.
She was a reproduction machine because her mind was trained to be that. I can't fathom that. After my two, I was, and God, I was a miracle. I had God performed a miracle in my body, because I wasn't supposed to have none, but I know doggone well 3 wasn't coming out of me, much less 4 or 5.
Baby, let me tell you something.
My dunamis was letting me know I was more than a reproduction. I was more than that. And I didn't know who I was. So I had to find out the more. Mm-hmm. I had to find out the more. And that's why everybody got to discover the more.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Discover the more. Michelle, it's amazing, because I used to always hear my mother say, that's a wench. Mm-hmm. You wench.
You wench.
You wench. Anybody heard wench? If you haven't, put it up there. Say, I heard wench. Just put wench up there. That's a wench. You wench.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what is she? I heard it, but I didn't know. But that was a wench. She was just there to reproduce. And most of them are that's all they know to do.
Yeah, that's it. That's all. Have babies.
Have babies. You wench. And now look at it. They had a whole lot of babies.
Right. We don't even know where these terms come from, but they all have some truth.
That's what I said, Michelle. That's why you got to go. You can't tell me nothing if you can't tell me how it derived.
Exactly.
I mean that from the depths of my soul. I can no longer just sit up under a little message because you got ability to speak, or you got ability to read, and you got ability to put some words together. That's a gift. But I gotta know. Tell me some stuff that I don't know. Tell me go down and search some stuff. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I heard the old folks say that's a winch, and we don't even hear that term no more.
No,
but now the winch is a witch.
Correct. Jezebelic, because she's her vagina is screaming, "I hate you. You made me into this. I hate you." And she hates herself, and she hates those men.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She has a self-hatred. So because she has a self-hatred, she comes to destroy men and seduce their minds.
Jezebel all day long.
Jezebel all day long. But that's a witch who is now a witch.
A witch. And so you had another woman, same thing, but she was married though. She was forced into marriage, but her body was used to reproduce. But see, what the difference between her and the other woman is, she was married. She thought she had something. She thought she was better than. She thought she was married.
And this is why the statuses come into play nowadays, because, you're married or you're single or you feel ashamed if you're divorced, but you got to beware, because people who are married, particularly in the religious sector, okay, think that they all this and all that, and their problems is solved because they marry. But let me tell you something, many of them are legally bound or trapped.
And that was her. Her vagina wasn't saying nothing because she thought it was saying something, but her vagina was so clouded with, I'm just going to take this pain. I'm just going to take this pain. It wasn't no purr. It wasn't no meow. It was just like, I'm going to take this pain. But religion, because there was division between these women. Wasn't no coitus going on. They was having sex because they was forced. But there was division because that one woman had that ring or whatever, jumped the broom or whatever she did. It was forced though.
Yeah.
And even to this day, a married woman in the church will look down at a single woman.
No, most definitely. Let me tell you something. Real talk. After I got divorced, when I was going into the church, the pastor pastors who were men wanted me to speak, particularly because of how I speak, to bring healing to the hearts of women, but esteeming men. But when their wife found out that I didn't have a ring on my finger, she was threatened. And she shut it down. The witch and the field slave shut it down all at once. So what I did strategically was, although I knew I was divorced, to ease her insecurities, I put my ring on my finger. Now, she never saw the husband because he wasn't there, but because she thought I was married, it made her feel better about herself. It made her feel better about who she was, and it was a false sense of herself. Now, they still didn't want me in there because the pastor then didn't want the people to see my name, to say my name more than they said their name.
Exactly. Your power.
My power.
You know who you are. You know who the hell you are. And that's threatening.
Yeah.
That's threatening to the enemy. And so, so much of who we are is in so much of what we've been through, just like you said, in our environment. And there's a woman that is often overlooked, and it was so rare. But there was a woman who was sought after on that plantation, and a man actually asked the master to give him permission to marry her. If anyone saw the movie Harriet,
yeah.
Harriet's husband got permission to marry her, and they had a love. It wasn't forced, because they loved one another. Now, she had to eventually leave him, but he got permission. He was a free man, if I'm not mistaken.
He was a free man. He was a free man. He was a free man.
Coitus didn't happen. I don't want you to get this fixed because it was still under stress and duress. They were still slaves. Yeah. But that was courting. She was courted. You know. But you see how she was able to maneuver? I want us to really get this. Harriet wouldn't have been Harriet had she not had that level of sought after. And it wasn't the fact that a man sought after her. It was because she was made to feel special in the private domains of her home. A man sought after her. She wasn't used as a witch. She wasn't used to just reproduce. And do you see how, because she had a different mind, a different set of emotions, she was still traumatized. She was able to tap into her dunamis and hear the spirit. And she became a leader and set the captives free. We are Harriet.
We are Harriet. And a free man sought after her, but it didn't free her. And what's so perverted about that, Michelle, and this is why I want to really let us know the perversion has nothing to do with sex. Perversion is a mindset. He had to go to the slave master, bypass her father.
Yes.
He couldn't go to the father to ask for the permission to marry. He had to go to the slave master, and which caused the father to, I can't even imagine, and I ain't even a man, how that would feel as a father when he had no say-so about what his daughter and who his daughter was with. So that was emasculating not just a man, but emasculating the mind of a father. Why you think many of us don't even know how to worship our Father in heaven? We don't know how to worship him as a father. We just see him as God. Do this, do that. I got to do this. I got to do that. That's perversion. Yes, he is God, but it's how you think of him.
Yeah.
Because he's God the Father, God the Son, and he's God the Holy Spirit. We don't even know the distinction of the three in our lives. When am I being led by the Holy Spirit? When am I hearing my big brother Jesus? When am I know I am in the presence of my Father? Because why? We were just dismissed and we just go straight to what we think is God as a slave master.
That's how we was trained.
They trained our minds. We're breaking the spirit of perversion.
Yes, we are.
The spirit of perversion. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
I don't. It ain't for everybody, Michelle. Because even I love it. You all know. I don't know. I forgot who got the Harriet Tubman of the vagina. But I know that I am a Harriet Tubman to go to the religious plantation, because our body is free, but our minds is still stuck in religion. Now, I don't make no, when I saw that movie, I already knew my assignment, but that confirmed it. Does that make sense? And I love the quote that Harriet Tubman stated. She said, I would free 1,000 slaves. I freed 1,000 slaves, but I would free 1,000 more, even if they knew that they were slaves. I'm come to free 10,000 women off the religious plantation, but I could free 10,000 more in my life and in my mission of what I'm doing if they even realized they were still on the religious plantation. Now, at this tour, I'm going to say I come to free 1,000 women.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
I come to free 1,000 women. I don't even know how many there are, but I come. But I could take 1,000 more if they even knew that they were still on the religious plantation as slaves, because it's perversion.
Yes.
Get your mind out of the bed. Get your mind from below your waist and let your mind up here know that you need to be free. If you need to be free, just say, I need to be free, because I'm freeing myself every time by unleashing the woman within. Because a woman ain't supposed to be doing this. A woman ain't supposed to talk about this. A woman ain't supposed to know how to make decisions for her life. A woman ain't supposed to.
Right. But the woman is doing it. But the woman is doing it.
Not a woman, the woman.
The woman is doing it.
The woman. Does that make sense? The woman. And it's so important So I don't know if you register, but if you register, get your behind there if you're ready to be free. Because no longer can the enemy distort us. But let me tell you what I'm going to do, Michelle.
Mm-hmm. What you going to do?
I love this community. I really do. So regardless of you want to be free or you don't, I'm still going to empower you. Now you can stay on the sideline and just get empowered, or you go deeper with me or whatever, but I'm going to still do my part in my place. So I know that as women, regardless of the perversion, we still require love.
Mm-hmm.
And when you said your heart was closed,
mm-hmm.
my heart was closed, and that was perverted.
Yes.
But I couldn't open up my heart. It took a great man to know how to get to my heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It took a great man. Oh, I can't wait for Matt to tell his story one day. It's gonna be so powerful. But I'm gonna tell my part before he started telling his part. Because once he started telling his part, but he was so keen. Does that make sense? He wasn't clever. He was keen. I need y'all to understand that. Okay, he wasn't. He was keen up in the spirit.
Yeah.
In the spirit, the enemy is clever, but a great man is keen. And so before you know it, my heart was like this, and it began to do this. Why? Because I didn't need love. I required love. I didn't need sex. I required love. Many of us thinking about sex and perversion, but you first got to know how to open your heart to love. So for 10 days straight, I'm going to come on this community every morning for 10 days straight to talk about how we can receive love.
That's powerful.
As a dunamis woman.
Yeah. That's a strong continuation to this challenge. That's powerful.
I mean, I ain't talking about a woman. I said dunamis woman.
Yeah, the dunamis woman. Yeah.
And if you may not want to break free from perversion, but tell me you don't want love. I dare you to put up there that you don't want love. You don't require love. But I want you to know put in that comment, I require love.
I require love.
Every woman wants love. I don't need sex no more. I needed love.
Mm-hmm.
And with that came coitus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm looking forward to it. On the real, I put that on everything, as my mama used to say. I put that on everything. I'm looking forward to it because one of the things I may fear, but at the end of the day, all I want to be is loved. Michelle,
who don't want to be loved? And we can't be scared of love. Mm-hmm. And it is frightening when your heart has been broken. It is frightening when you have been put down. It is frightening when your father walked away from you. It is frightening when you don't even know who your daddy is, and you may have slept with your daddy and you don't even know who he is.
Lord Jesus. My vagina just went dead. Thanks.
It was voided, Michelle. Was it voided?
It's voided. It's gone. Thanks.
But it's only for 10 days. Mm-hmm. Because I know that we require love, and I know many women are afraid of it. And I was afraid of it. If you can admit that you was afraid, just put up there, I'm afraid of love. I'm really afraid of love. You want it, but you require it, but you're afraid of it.
I'm afraid of it. Yes, I am.
Because it's still going to unleash the woman within. Now, those who go into the tour, we're going deeper, y'all. We're going deeper. But even those who don't think that they really need to be free, I know you could just say you need love, but you require it. It's going to be on starting tomorrow morning.
Yes, it is. I'm looking forward to it.
Between 8 o'clock and 8:30 Central Standard Time.
Central Standard Time?
Central Standard Time.
Sisters, this has been powerful. And nothing is scripted. It's so funny because we didn't even think about talking about any of this. But you see how cold God really is. And he could just maneuver a conversation and just take it where it needs to go. But I am so excited about how you're breaking down religion, breaking down fears, breaking down noemas, breaking down all of that stuff that the enemy has been feeding us all of our lives. So sisters, tune in for the next 10 days. Tag another.
It's going to be, but somebody asked the time. I'm going to come on between 8 o'clock a.m. just in case you don't get the notification, and 8:30 a.m. I can't tell you 8 o'clock a.m. all the time because I may have a coaching session that morning. But I know between 8 a.m. Central Standard Time and 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, watch your clock because it's going to be on. How a dunamis woman receive the love it requires.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't come on and watch the replay. But
receive love.
And we want it, but we got to know how to receive it. I'm just going to share my story. I'm just going to talk about some things about love. I'm just going to break some stuff down. You know what I'm saying? As a sequence of this challenge, because I don't want no woman to be left behind. I can't do nothing about women who do want to go deeper or whatever. I'm going to avail myself on deeper levels, shallow levels, mid-level, whatever level you can get on. I want to avail myself because at the end of the day, I'm still want to be Harriet Tubman to your life and free your soul.
That's it right there. That's
Jesus
it.
Name.
In Jesus' name. April Mans, you may have to work, but love, watch the replay. We're not taking it's watch the replay, sister. It's gonna be here for you.
It's gonna be here for you. It's gonna here. And I ain't coming to ask you for nothing but to set your soul free.
That's it. Right? That's it. That's
what this community is about. And university, get ready. We're going deeper and deeper and deeper. But I'm gonna tell y'all, those who I double dare you, who you want to go deeper, go on and get that ticket. You ain't gotta come VIP, just get the ticket for the tour if you want to, but you gotta start breaking up this stuff in the spirit realm. www.healingformysoultour.com. I dare you to register because Michelle, it's time to unleash the woman within. I love you all. Thank you all for joining me on D-Speak Show. Woo! Woo! Did I get you to think? Did you think if you was able to think about some stuff and you're still scratching your head, just say, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Put up that think, funk, thought, whatever you want. Real talk about life and relationships. Michelle, I love you. Thank you for rolling with me.
Thank you. Right? Thank you for having me.
As if you wasn't here, I would be going deeper and deeper into teaching. So you kind of balance me off because I love to teach. I teach to live and I live to teach. All right. You all have a good one. I will see you all in the morning.
Yeah. All right. I love you all.
Love you. Bye-bye.